Hey, I'm Scott, and I'm an American in Bangkok. You know, I had not planned to do this video. I had planned to put up a video having to do with my recent trip to Suratani, or maybe a compilation of my trips from last year. But I think the Wuhan virus and what's going on is fast becoming a very, very serious matter. As of the January 31st, the virus has been considered a global emergency, and just today, the Philippine Department of Health reported on Sunday the first death from the coronavirus outside of China. A 44-year-old man from Wuhan was admitted on January 25th after experiencing fever, cough, and sore throat. He then developed severe pneumonia, and although the patient was stable and showed signs of improvement, his condition deteriorated, and 24 hours later, he passed away. The man's 38-year-old female companion, also from Wuhan, tested positive for the virus and is isolated in a Manila hospital. She's the second case in the Philippines. Second reported case, confirmed case. But in talking with several people, I realized that this virus, and more specifically the travel bans and flight suspensions, they're beginning to affect an increasing number of people. At the moment, there are 14,631 confirmed cases and 305 dead. There's an estimated 80,000 cases that are yet to be reported. So who knows just how big this is for sure. These are just estimates. As the virus spreads more and more, though, the people inside of mainland China, both Chinese and foreigners, they're becoming persona non grata. Nobody wants the Chinese coming into their country, and the flights they're slowing down or stopping. The State Department heightened its travel advisory for China on Thursday, urging citizens to not travel there because of the rapid spread of this virus. The announcement came hours after the World Health Organization declared the outbreak a global emergency. Delta, United, and American Airlines are suspending all flights between the U.S. and mainland China. Airlines outside the United States in Rwanda and Kenya, Rwanda Air and Kenya Airlines said they would cancel all flights to and from Guangzhou, the southern Chinese metropolis, until further notice. And so far, there are no confirmed cases in Africa. Poland, LOT Polish Airlines, has suspended flights to China until February 9th. More than a dozen people suspected of having a coronavirus are hospitalized in Poland, and over 500 people are being monitored by health services. I think Singapore is not allowing people in. There are a large number of countries now, an increasing number of countries that are not allowing Chinese or people who have been in China to come into the country. Now, several people I know who are currently in Thailand, and several others who are planning on visiting, they are or were scheduled to pass through China. Now, some are leaving in the next few days, some are leaving in the coming weeks and coming months, next 2-3 months. But what can you do if your flight is scheduled to pass through China? I was thinking about this. What happens if you're scheduled to go through China? Should you still go there if you're able to go there? What happens if your flight through China is suspended? What recourse do you have? And aside from buying a new ticket, what exactly can you do? So, first of all, I think it should be known that if you're traveling to the United States, I don't know about all of the countries in Europe, but the United States, the Trump administration imposed temporary travel restrictions barring entry into the United States by any foreign national who has traveled to China in the past 14 days. In addition, any U.S. citizen returning home who has been in the Hubei province of China within the past 14 days will be quarantined up to 14 days. Wuhan is the epicenter of the outbreak, and that is in Hubei. U.S. citizens who have been in other parts of China within the past 14 days will be subject to a proactive screening and up to 14 days of monitoring and self-quarantine. So some of the people, if they still plan on flying out in the next couple of days, they may get home to the United States and they may have to be monitored, and they may have to stay inside their home or wherever it is that they're going to quarantine themselves. And that's obviously troubling, because not only can it be a pain in the ass to have to reschedule everything, and what happens if you've been gone for 2-3 weeks and you decide that, you know, you're just going to wing it, and you go through, you land, and then they say, yeah, well, you can't go anywhere for 2 weeks, and you've got a job to go to. What happens if you lose your job because of that? You know, this is affecting a large number of people, and the more it spreads, the more problems it's causing. You may have the option to rebook to the same destination at a later date, although it is not known when flights to mainland China will resume. Who knows how long this thing will last, because from what I've read and what I've heard, it says here, developing, testing, and reviewing any potential vaccine is a long, complex, and expensive endeavor that could take months or even years, global health experts say. I've heard it's around a year, and I've also heard it's anywhere from 3 to 6 months, so who knows how long it's going to take. But I wouldn't count on this being taken care of in the immediate future. While some flights are there are still flights going to China. Many of these airlines they are now offering passengers the option of rebooking their flights, changing their travel destination, or requesting a full refund. Now, I don't know, how do you get a full refund from a partial trip? You know, you've already flown, let's say you've flown to Thailand. What are they going to do? Give you 50%? Because I don't know if it works that way, at least when it comes to, it doesn't work that way anywhere. But who knows how much they're going to give you. And then how long is it going to take to get the money back? For some people, this would be an issue, because buying a new ticket could be expensive. A one-way ticket can be very expensive. So basically, this is causing a large number of problems. Despite many airlines offering full refunds, there are no legal obligations for them to do so. So it's advised you get in touch with your provider directly. What I really want to know is what happens if you book a flight through a travel agent, an online company that is a broker. What happens then? What are your options then? And I think this is a major headache. It's a nightmare for people traveling. I would not want to be traveling now. Definitely not in China. If you decide to travel to China, this just gets even better. If you decide to travel against the government's advice, be aware that your travel insurance is at risk of being invalidated. So let's say that you just think, hey, listen, I've got to stop off in Shanghai before I go to New York or wherever you're going, before you go to LA. You stop off in Shanghai and you get the virus, you come back, your travel insurance may be able to say, oh, sorry, invalidated, you weren't supposed to go there. I don't know how this is all going to work out, but the United States is also funneling flights from China to just a few airports, including Kennedy Airport, Chicago O'Hare, and San Francisco International Airport. Again, another nightmare. Just think about it. This could be, besides the death toll, and while that is a relative small percentage, it could get worse. It can get worse. We're not out of the woods yet. And while I'm not really all that worried, even though I'm in Thailand, which is now the number 3 country with confirmed cases, I think it behooves people to take care and to stay away from China. Don't go there. Even if you have to, I saw that some companies, what they're doing, Walmart's, for instance, their executives, instead of going to China, they are doing virtual conference calls. I don't know why they don't do that anyway. Maybe that would allow them to lower their costs and pass it on to their customers. I don't know. Or maybe it's just not possible. Anyway, that's all I got. I just wanted to do this real quick because I think some people, they still don't know, and they maybe have not thought about this. I flew through China a couple of years ago, and my wife flew through China, and my kids flew through China when we went back to the United States. We went to Shanghai. I think we went to Shanghai on the way back. I don't remember on the way in. And we stopped in New York. We spent a couple days in New York. Then we went to Miami. But we didn't particularly like going through China. They probably didn't really care. I would have preferred to fly through Tokyo or Taipei or something like that. But that's how it worked out. We went, I think it was China Eastern, and we ended up stopping in Shanghai. And that was that. I would not want to do that now. So that's all I got. Anyway, until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Stay safe. Chok di. Jerkan mai. That's good luck. And until next time, see you later.